So, what makes up health and well-being? This is a question I think I've been asking myself consciously for 20 years. But I can't decide whether, for most people, it's that they genuinely don't know what makes up health and well-being. They don't care what makes up health and well-being. They don't understand. And I had another point which I've forgotten. Or they just don't want to know. They don't want to know. Because I think one of the greatest things we can do is take charge of our health. And the reason I think that is not just on a personal level about you can tweak things daily, you're hopefully happier and healthier, you live a longer life, or even if it's not a long life, you live a good quality life. And I think aside from all of that, particularly in the UK, there is the impact on the National Health Service. Now, I know that's not the same for other countries, but if we are looking after our health and well-being at an earlier point in time, then we're taking the pressure off of that amazing system that has been put in place, essentially free medical care, although, that's debatable. And I think that gets taken for granted as well. And I've started, as I've continued along my own journey of looking after my health and well-being, I've started to think about the broader impact of that. And so I've thought more about, more about all of the elements that make up our health and well-being. And I think it's what we think, it's how we feel, it's what we do, it's what we say, it's how we are in the world, it's what we eat, it's how we move, it's when we move, it's literally everything. And that's not to create pressure for people to become some sanitized version, because that's not health and well-being anyway. We all know stories of people who've lived to 110 on pints of whiskey and cigarettes. There are all those stories out there. So there are always going to be exceptions. But I think most of us are probably not going to exist like that. I know I'm not going to exist like that. So we have to really tune into our systems and go, okay, what for me makes up my health and well-being? What is it I need to understand about myself that I absolutely need? And how is that going to change day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year? When I came through cancer, there were very specific things I needed to do at that point. And in the last 5 years, I've been going through menopause and sideswiped me, bringing up all kinds of other things. So we constantly have to check in again and kind of look at what do we need now at this point. And whether you have a dramatic experience of menopause or whether you just trickle through it without much interruption, there are always cycles we're going through in life. There are always cycles, and because of those cycles, we constantly need to be refining what we need for ourselves. Firstly, understanding what we need, and secondly, tweaking as we go. So, here's a bit of homework for you. What makes up your health and well-being? What for you are the fundamental things you need to stay happy and healthy? What are the deal breakers? If it was a relationship, well, it is a relationship. It's a relationship with your body. For you, that if you don't do them, your health starts to slide. Mine are meditation. I would say the key things for me are meditation and movement. And then it's rest. Food I'm a little less sensitive to these days, but if I eat off kilter for too long, definitely feel it. And downtime. Time alone for me, downtime. So those are some of mine. Now, what are yours? Have a great day. Bye.